Okay, guys, I think we're live. It's kind of scrolling, so we'll give it just a second. Okay, I think I'm live now. There we go. Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Sarah Gaston here with your weekly Facebook Live Q&A where I answer your questions about the art and craft of acting. Um, when I first started doing these a few months ago, it was basically I wanted to find a way to support my community. And so the way that I thought that I could do that was to hold these Facebook Lives and give people an opportunity free of charge to ask me anything that they wanted to ask me about acting. And that is, hello, Michael. And that's still what I'm here for. So please always feel free to ask questions and I'll do my best to answer them. And I remember being a little nervous because I thought if people don't ask questions, what on earth am I going to talk about? Right? I'm going to have to make up questions that people ask me. But as this sort of evolves, I realize that I actually have plenty to say to you guys. And please always, always, always put your questions in the comment section. But today I want to talk to you about something that's been on a lot of our minds, which is the dire strait of the fine arts right now. So for a lot of performers, myself included, when March rolled around, we watched a lot of work that we had scheduled for the year evaporate off our calendars. And when you have made your livelihood or a large part of your livelihood in some form of performance, and you're no longer allowed to be around people and you're no longer allowed to be in front of an audience, it's a very lost feeling because the thing that fed you both creatively and in some ways just fed your humanity has now been taken away from you. It's been dark. It's been dark. It's been really hard. But this is what I want to talk to you about. This is a time of great uncertainty for everyone, but performing arts is storytelling. Storytelling isn't going anywhere. It's very easy to feel like what we're experiencing today. I just saw an article that said Broadway's closed for the rest of 2020. It's very easy to feel like this is permanent and this is a forever thing. But going back to the Greeks who invented tragedy, or at least they coined the term tragos, which means goat song. And so a lot of people attribute that to the idea that the purpose of tragedy was to allow a sort of catharsis. So symbolically, the people in the village or the community would put their sins on a goat, which would be then chased from the village. So it's like it took away their demons, so to speak, right? And so one of the reasons we watch film and theater that has a tragic edge is it's like a catharsis. It allows us to kind of go on that journey and then to have some sort of release from that. But like I said, that goes back to the Greeks. And what we do goes back even further. It goes back to Neanderthals and even, pre-verbal, well, I shouldn't say pre-verbal. It goes back to ancient versions of man that told stories around the campfire so that there could be a sense of community and there could be a sense of we're all in this together. And guys, that's not going to go anywhere. I was watching Jurassic Park the other night for about the billionth time, and I heard something very, very differently than I've typically heard it. And the little girl says to the paleontologist once he sees that now dinosaurs have been brought back to life, she says, well, what are you and Ellie going to do now that you don't have to pick up dinosaur bones anymore? And he says, well, I guess we'll have to evolve too. And I think that's partly what we're looking at. We don't know what's going to happen. So we're going to have to innovate, and we're just going to have to find new ways of doing what we do and looking at what we do. It doesn't mean you're not going to be an actor. It doesn't mean you're not going to be a storyteller. What it might mean, though, at least for the interim, is that you're going to have to find a different way to explore that and to express that. And yeah, maybe your phone isn't ringing off the hook with your agent telling you there are a lot of auditions, but what stories do you need to tell? What things do you want to share with the world before your time here passes? I have a lovely friend, Josephine Johns, excuse me, Josephine John, who has had many, many lives. And she wrote an incredible one-person show based on the research she had done around her ancestors. And now she's writing a show about her career in the dance world. And we've had several conversations about, well, what is that going to look like if we don't have performance spaces? But the thing about Josephine is that she is asking the questions, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Not from an, oh crap, there's no opportunity here, but rather from a, well, I'm just going to have to do this differently. I'm just going to have to think about this differently. And so I think we're just going to have to hold very lightly to the way things were right now and the way things will be in the future, and look at what is so right now and figure out how we can innovate around that so that we can still express, so that we can still tell our stories. I have another friend, a beautiful, beautiful opera singer, and she was sharing with me that she felt ashamed that she spent all this money and all this time to become a performing artist, and now she can't perform. And I thought, her voice is a gift to the world. And what a shame that she feels that she doesn't still have that gift to share, right? She has that gift to share. It just may not look like live theater or live performance right now. I hope this is making sense. Oh my goodness. The other thing I want to talk about is the fact that there are many interpretations and many definitions of the word crisis, but one that really made sense to me was that it's a sifting, okay? So I don't know if you've ever panned for gold. It's kind of fun. You go and they give you like a little frame and it's got like a screen on it, and you go, dip it into the sand in like a stream, and then you shake it, shake it, shake it, and the sand falls away. And then if you're really lucky, maybe like a little piece of gold nugget will be left behind. But it is a sifting away of what's not of value and a revealing of what is of value. So that's another thing I would encourage you to do, is look at this as an opportunity to really look at what's of value and then what can you do with that, right? Another another version of the word crisis is opportunity, right? And it's hard to feel like it's an opportunity when we are trapped in, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, am I ever going to work again? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, how am I going to perform if there's no audience? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, my agent isn't calling me. Or your agent calls you and you get an offer to go on an audition and they want you to sign a waiver that says you can become extraordinarily ill or die if you go on this audition. That's a sobering waiver to sign. I've signed waivers doing dangerous things like climbing the Sydney Bridge or going horseback riding, but to sign a waiver to show up on set, socialize for a few hours, and eat some free snacks, that's just taking it to another level, right? And that's what we're dealing with right now. And it is scary, and I get that, but figure out what story you want to tell. One of my students reached out to me today and asked if I would talk more about creating your own content. And I said, well, I have a video on my YouTube channel, which you should subscribe to if you're not already, but I have a video on my YouTube channel. It talks about that very thing. I have quite a long conversation with filmmaker Joe Grisafi about, because we worked on many, many projects together over the years, but what does that look like? And so just for a recap here, do you have a sketch character that you want to do just a little funny video about? I after I went through my intermediate level of the groundlings, I had collected about 42 different characters that I wanted to play around with. And, you know, I've like done one. Okay. So like do as I say, not as I do, but that's something like I'm really looking at. It's like, well, I guess this is a time to get up and start filming some videos, doing something with these little sketch characters I've created. I'm about to start working with somebody on getting a voiceover demo so that I've done voiceover in the past, but voiceover is going to be a big deal right now because that's something that we can do safely from our own homes. So, can you get into the world of voiceover? Can you do a safe, socially distanced film with your friends? Some way to where, you're filming, but you don't have to worry about getting too close to each other. There are just so many things that we can be doing as performers to tell our stories, to get our gifts out there in a way that just looks different than maybe we've been used to. Rebecca Stacy, yeah, she says, I've signed those papers and it's scary. I feel you, Rebecca. I feel you. I'm nervous about signing those papers. In fact, well, that's on a side note. I've been advised not to by my manager. So you know what? It's going to depend on the opportunity, right? So anyway, I don't want to keep you guys. If you don't have any questions, that's a-okay. Again, you can always ask me questions later in the comments, or you can email me, or you can Facebook message me and text me. I have a million ways that you can get a hold of me. But if you have questions that come up for you, please let me know, and I'll ask them first on the next Facebook Live. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear your mask, and just remember, you're an artist, you're a performer, you're a creator, and no stupid pandemic is going to change that. Okay? I love you guys.